BioWare. Did you guys forget how to make a fucking video game? You know, did you need another fucking year or something to finish this game? What the fuck? You had 5 years to make this shit, yet it still feels incomplete? Shit, even the YouTube owner is laughing at you, and that motherfucker can go fuck himself. Now, let me just be clear on this, man. Because Mass Effect Andromeda has two specific parts. You have the campaign, you have the multiplayer. Obviously, the campaign has been through the ringer over the past few weeks, and all the flaws the game has already been posted by people. I personally haven't even gotten an hour into the campaign, and the only reason I managed to get that far was because I wanted to unlock the campaign strike mission. I'm going to talk more about that a little bit later, but I played multiplayer non-stop since the week it came out, and now I'm trying to split my time between that and Destiny now that it has this Age of Triumph shit out. So I only want to focus on multiplayer right now since the campaign has already been beaten to death. Other people have already showed the facial animations, the problems with the motherfucker. So while the content is fun, and of course it's always going to be better to play with friends, it's flawed. Much like Destiny or Call of Duty, there are things that are fun, and then there are things that are fucked up. Guess which part I'm gonna rant about? You're damn right, the fucked up parts. Because BioWare, I thought you got this. I'm pretty fucking sure you said this is the most extensive testing that you've ever done when it came to multiplayer. Well, fuck me, that just makes everything better now, doesn't it? If this game was tested properly, then I'm gonna be the next fucking Pope, because this bullshit was not tested at all. Oh, we have people, and we call them game changers. They're streamers who sit in front of a fucking game all day long and attach catheter bags to themselves so they never have to get up to go to the fucking bathroom and play all day. Oh, get the fuck out of here using these leeching scumbags, you fucking cunt bags. If this game was so thoroughly tested, why are there so many fucking problems and issues? Why the fuck is this game all fucked up if it was tested extensively? Get the fuck out of here, man. Our most extensively tested game? Really? What are you comparing that to? What was the competition? Mass Effect 3, which had an actual fucking beta, or Dragon Age multiplayer, which basically took everything from Mass Effect 3? Nothing. And I can't repeat this often enough, but nothing will improve a game more than a public beta. A massive scale test that will tell developers and studios things they need to fix ahead of time. And granted, betas aren't the most reliable way of fixing things because betas are usually short and condensed products that limit the full scope of the game. But they give you an idea of shit. They can tell you ahead of time when shit doesn't feel right. In this game, shit doesn't feel right. So let's start with what you're visually seeing. How come the fucking fonts in the menus are so goddamn small? Really, man? Between the ammo indicators, the number of grenades, consumables you have, to the lobby menus with all that tiny shit on the bottom of the screen, what the fuck? Do bigger fonts cost more money or something? Is EA cutting your fucking font budget? Now, I don't need to know the wave that I'm on, or the time in the match, or whatever the fuck it is. That shit is somewhat irrelevant. That's in the middle of the screen all the way on the bottom. But I'd like to see my ammo a little bit better. I'd like to see my consumable numbers without squinting to see the damn things in the corner. And I play on a pretty good sized TV, and I'm still struggling to look at that motherfucker. Man, BioWare, you have to get your shit together. Even the damn objectives, they're fucking tiny. You get this little bitty teeny weeny fucking icon that might pop up somewhere on the fucking screen, and then you gotta try and look for that motherfucker. Like, kill a fucking target or disable a device, man. You can't even see these damn things on the map. The upload areas, you know, like the ABC where 3 people have to split up and whatnot, those are pretty good. That's what I want to see. If you can take that icon, something I can visually see, and replace that with all that microscopic shit, that's what you need to do. How hard is it to create a big objective marker? Something gigantic for all those shit-stained players who ignore objectives. So those motherfuckers can't lie and say, oh, I need to see the objective marker. Get the fuck out of here, man. Seriously, step number 1, increase fucking font size and objective markers. Second problem, what the fuck happened to our powers? I mean, we were like fucking Voltron before, coming together, kicking some ass, taking some names. Now you can't even kill a damn thing with your powers, not even the low-level enemies. Try killing a basic enemy on gold with a maxed out character. How the fuck do they not die? You know, I can understand bigger enemies. I can understand not killing a Krogan in one biotic combo, but a low-level mook? Come on, BioWare, this shit is fucking stupid. If you're a maxed out character doing power damage to a low-level enemy and they don't die? What the hell? My tech combos, my biotic combos, none of that shit is killing low-level enemies. You have to wear them down first, and then, finally, your combo powers will kill something. You know, I know at some point you'll probably do some rebalancing, but you mean to tell me that this is what you intended your game to initially be like? You intended powers to be this weak compared to basic level enemies? You know, speaking of the combos, biotics, and techs, what the fuck happened to the awesome biotic combo sound? You know what I'm talking about? You know the sound when you really nail a motherfucker? Where did that shit go? One of the most entertaining parts of Mass Effect 3 was running around a map with 4 biotic characters basically blowing shit up. And you knew you nailed something, man. Because the louder you heard that biotic explosion, the harder you knew you hit a motherfucker. Now it's like a muffled fart, man. Why did you remove Reeve and Warp from the game, which easily could have been combined or reworked in something? Now, fucking biotics are primers, or they're detonators and all this other goddamn crap. Oh, man. Speaking of crap, what the fuck happened to the rocket? Holy shit. You know, I expect big explosions. I expect damage. I expect a Michael Bay movie to pop the fuck out of nowhere and blow up a whole damn planet. Now, you fire that shit and enemies laugh at you. Seriously. They walk right through that fucking shit like nothing happened. You know, I get that rockets were added to our wrist to prevent rocket glitching. I'm fine with that. But the fucking things do no damage. Even worse, when you fire them at the ground hoping for a bigger explosion, hoping to hit more things, get a bigger radius, you don't get shit. Fucking grenades are doing more damage at this point. You know, I don't expect rockets to be the save-all. I don't expect rockets to be able to blow up an entire map. But at the very least, if I get a direct hit on the Hydra, I expect the damn thing to die. And another thing that comes to the rockets, I remember in Mass Effect 3, you could at least walk around with the damn things. Now, you pull that fucker out, and if you goddamn sneeze, the game pulls the rocket back out of the readiness animation. And when you fire one, if you want to fire a second one, because obviously you need to fire two if you want to kill that Ascendant Orb, motherfucker, you need to rev it all up, press the buttons again, fire another fucking rocket, and at that point, sometimes enemies have already recovered. Seriously, who designed that shit, man? And don't get me started on the enemies in the goddamn game. You know what the hardest enemy in the game is? The fucking orb that I just mentioned, the Ascendant Orb. Really? The hardest damn alien in the game is a fucking orb? It's the size of a basketball, yet it's the most powerful fucking alien you created. That annoying shit has got to go, man. Between that little ass orb, that annoying robot with the goddamn laser on his face, holy shit, man, these sumbitches, they kill you so fucking quickly. But the most irritating thing in the entire game, the most stupidest thing, and this is something that easily could have been fixed in a beta, the lobby system. How come we can't just make a fucking party? I mean, this is video gaming 101. Why can't me, Hatred, Smelly, Bite Crazy, The Big B, or anyone else jump online and just simply make a party? And I'm sure anyone who has tried matchmaking has noticed the damn issues. You can't really create a lobby with just 2 people, especially here in the United States. When Smelly makes a lobby on his connection, yeah, people join. But here in the United States, if me and Hatred just make a lobby, we just sit there waiting and waiting and waiting for a 3rd and 4th person to join. You seemingly need 3 people in order to do a public lobby just to fill that 4th spot. The 2 people almost never get another 2 people to fill that motherfucker. I don't know if this is a glitch, but it's certainly not intended, because me and Hatred can't just sit in a lobby for hours trying to host a room and not get a damn person in there. However, when we find a match, when we go search a match on our own solo, we easily find a lobby, and it's almost always as the 4th person in that lobby. So this whole stupid shit that you need 3 people in order to do public matchmaking and get that 4th person with the quickness is fucking stupid. It doesn't make sense that a game like this doesn't have a party system and doesn't have better lobby matchmaking. This shit does not work, man. How the fuck did this get by your quality assurance? I shouldn't have to sit in a room with 1 friend hoping for 2 people to join because you don't have a goddamn party system. A fucking co-op game with no fucking co-op. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I mean, this is just 5 years backwards. This fucking shit was annoying and you didn't fix it over all these damn years. Oh, our streamers extensively tested this motherfucker. Get out of here. Every single one of those motherfuckers should be shot online, live streamed, have their heads fucking blown off. Then I'll donate some money. But if you're gonna sit here and tell me these fucking streamers tested that shit, you are out of your goddamn minds. You let these fucking couch potatoes who point cameras at themselves for hours in a day test this shit, probably didn't make a single fucking suggestion. You ignored the public, ignored what a large-scale beta could have done for the game, and now you got this fun but highly flawed mess of a fucking project. You know, essentially the community is now playing the fucking beta, and we'll get some patches, we'll get some balance reworks and changes over time, but a good portion of this shit could have been figured out in the first place if you didn't put these stupid motherfuckers called game changers in charge of your extensive testing. You know, especially the technical and the visual issues. This is just basic shit. Balance will be addressed on its own. I know that. And anyone that remembers Mass Effect 3 might remember how every other Tuesday or every Tuesday they would roll out some changes and tweaks and whatnot. Sometimes it was minor, sometimes it was major, but they tweak the game all the time. In this game, simple lobby matchmaking and partying with friends shouldn't be such a fucking chore. I have have no clue what you were thinking on this one, but this is not an efficient way of playing the game. And these game changers that you say tested this game extensively are clearly a bunch of piece of shits. That's all they fucking are. If they tested this shit and they didn't fucking notice this, they should have their heads bashed in with a fucking baseball bat. An open public beta was the way to see all these errors and issues and could have fixed this shit before the game actually released. You know, when you combine all the technical issues that multiplayer has with the fact that the beta was canceled because you were working on the game right up until launch, with the issues that the campaign has, this leads me to believe EA forced you to release this game early. You know, it's like they were holding you hostage or some shit. And you decided to roll out a crap-ass product. Because listen, hear me out for a second. If you compare the release and the launch of Horizon Zero Dawn with Mass Effect Andromeda, and just look at how differently these two were released. Horizon Zero Dawn was sending out copies weeks in advance of their launch. Guerrilla Games was confident in their product, confident that the reviews would back up the work that they put into the game, and they were rewarded with a very well-received game that sold over 2 million copies on launch. That's pretty fucking good for a launch game that has Pocahontas fighting robots. Yet you compare that with Andromeda, a game with a high-profile trilogy that came before it, being released 5 years after the last game, and it had a massive budget to create something decent. That's a pretty good start to what should be a top-notch game. But the review copies that are normally sent out weeks in advance were only given out like a week or so. EA puts up a review embargo to prevent the bad reviews from hitting too early. That way people won't look at that shit and say, oh, I don't want to buy this motherfucker. They knew the game had issues, man. The beta was canceled a short time before the release of the game because, well, it's kind of late at this point for a beta. Seriously, that was the answer. It's kind of late at this point for a beta. We took too long completing and developing the game, so we can't roll out a test. Doesn't that just sound like an unfinished product? Of course it does. This campaign has been eviscerated for a number of things. The facial animations are obviously an easy target. However the fuck that made it through quality control, I don't know, but that shit is unreal. The story, the characters, the mission, the scope of the game itself really falls flat on almost all the reviews. So it makes you wonder, did EA push this release date? I wouldn't put it past them to do something like this because the game has been in development for a couple years and taken quite a while to actually complete. Yet, still having a number of technical problems. That sounds like a rushed product. This sounds like a game that wasn't ready, but EA was ready to make some money. It's almost like EA knows they needed some money. Battlefield once again lost to the shittiest Call of Duty ever created. They could not outsell the shittiest Call of Duty with one of their best Battlefield games. Titanfall got the worst fucking release date in the history of video games. Why the fuck would you put that game in between two major games that already have established franchises? Destiny, as flawed as it is still chugging along. It's still making money, and they've already announced their sequel, and what happened? It became one of the highest trending videos after the trailer released in this motherfucker. Seeing this, EA has got to do something. They had to figure something out when it came to Mass Effect. It's like, fuck, we have this giant franchise just waiting in the wings. Let's just rush this motherfucker out. Because after all, you could have given Bioware 10 fucking years in this game and probably still would have needed work. Now, ultimately, multiplayer suffers from this rush process. It's fun, it's certainly entertaining like the last game of Mass Effect 3, but it needed some serious quality assurance. You know, personally, I've been playing it. I've only gotten so far in the campaign. I haven't even bothered with the campaign after all the reviews. The only thing that I did was I got up to the point where I could do the strike missions. I've been running strike missions left and right. I'm on my phone almost all the time seeing if there's a new strike mission, and I had so many fucking rewards that I had to go collect them in single players. I had to create an account in single player, set up my character, and all I did was play right up to the point that I could collect those fucking rewards. It's like 45 minutes or an hour into this motherfucker. Once I got those rewards, I went right back to multiplayer. So once that shit gets all filled up again, I think I can have 200 rewards in this motherfucker. I'm gonna go right back to the single player campaign and collect all my rewards. My single player is gonna have a shitload of fucking rewards by the time I play that motherfucker, man. But listen to me, BioWare, you needed a beta. Not only did you need a beta, but you didn't need fucking streamers to help you actually put this game together. And I hope you learned your lesson that those piece of shits that you had test this game for you are nothing more than a greedy bunch of money-grubbing whores. That's exactly what they do for a living. They whore for money. And all you did was hire these whores for money to test your game extensively. And in the end, you came out with a fucked up product. You look like idiots. These testers look like idiots. They've always looked like fucking idiots. And the people who play this game are wondering what the fuck went wrong in 5 goddamn years. You know what went wrong? You probably assumed that the Mass Effect trilogy would be able to carry over all the goodwill that it created in that game. So let's create something brand new, strip it down a little bit, and hope people won't notice. But guess what? We fucking noticed. Took you 5 years to create this stripped down product. And as fun as it is seriously fucking flawed. Anyways, as bad as this game is, as many flaws as it has, it's fun. And I'm going to still continue to play the shit out this motherfucker. So like I said, if anyone wants to get into some multiplayer games with me, if you guys finish the campaigns, hop over to the multiplayer side. I'm usually on late at night. So anyways, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video.